I wanted to start with just a little timeline that gives people a sense of the world that we've all been living in and how rapidly it's changed. On March 5th, me and a couple colleagues were up at our overnight camp campus in the Poconos with a couple of architects putting the final touches on a major new building for staff development and training and arts up at camp. We were looking at the health center expansion project that we did this year. Stacy, we were looking at our vocational educational program and renovating 2 buildings that will give our graduates now of our special needs program a place to become working Jewish adults in the summer camp that they love. And we were even picking out a spot for a new gardening program. That was on March 5th. A week later, March 12th, we made the decision to close our offices and to do our part in terms of social distancing. On Monday, March 16th, we launched what we've called our Ramah web programming that we've done and other camps have done, pivoting to virtual programming, different kinds of activities throughout the course of the week for all of our campers, our special campers with special needs, our day campers, our overnight campers, and staff as well. And that was 2 months. 2 months has passed since that fateful trip up to camp. And of course, the world has changed drastically, and our own thoughts about camp and what this summer looks like have changed drastically in those 8 weeks. Camp Ramah in the Poconos sent out a communication to our parents a week ago and to our stakeholders as well that laid out the following options and contingency plans. Number one is we're always dreaming of summer. Of course we are. We're camp people, and usually May 1st, by the way, comes with an increasing anxiety level for camp directors about who's going to run the drama program or getting an extra lifeguard this summer. Unfortunately, May 1st feels phenomenally different, and we are dreaming of summer and the possibility of summer and not willing to give that up. And yet we have to be realistic and explore contingency plans as well. All of us run camps. You can only run a camp if safety is your number one concern. And come to any of our staff training sessions, the first thing we teach every staff member at Camp Ramah is you are in charge of other people's children. And that is the sacred task that we are given. Camp directors, by the way, not only understand that sacred task, of course, take it seriously, but we know that we're in charge of other people's children who are the staff members as well, right? We have to have equal concern for our staff members and their health and safety as we do for our campers, for their parents, for the broader community that we live in, both in Wayne County, Pennsylvania, in Montgomery County, for our day camp and beyond. So camp can only operate if camps can operate safely. And we are waiting guidelines from the Centers for Disease Control that's working in partnership with the American Camp Association to determine, are there some guidelines that camps can live by that would provide a safe environment for some face-to-face interaction this summer in our camp communities. We are awaiting those guidelines in the next couple of weeks. We don't expect them to be easy, I can tell you that right away, and different camps are going to make their decisions in terms of what they can do for their camp communities this summer. Let me shift gears to what would be lost. That if the local Jewish camps end up making similar decisions to the broader URJ camp movement or beyond, what's lost in that? So first, from a financial perspective, you can assume that each of the Jewish camps that you love very, very much is facing a loss of revenue in this year between $1.5 and $4 million. So that'll give you a sense. Multiply that by the 5 or 6 Jewish camps in just our region. That gives you a sense. And if you do the entire Jewish camping world across North America, we're probably looking at an industry loss of around $80 to $100 million. Why is it a loss, right? If you don't run summer, then, what did you really lose? And this goes back to the what do you do all year question that me and my colleagues get a lot. Of course, we have year-round teams. 90 to 100% of camp's revenue are based on camper tuitions from that summer. And in the face of COVID-19, almost all camps, not all at this point, but many camps have made the statement that should camp decide not to operate this summer, that we would offer families 3 options. One is we would offer them a refund. We would also offer them the option to roll over their tuition to the coming year. And then, of course, we would also offer a donation, and I'll get to an important grant that will help us facilitate those donations as well. If everybody wanted a refund, many camps would have to outlay 1.5 to 2.5 million dollars, right, in term to satisfy those refunds, and that's obviously a significant challenge. Rollovers are a little bit better, but for the budget-minded people on this call, you'll know that rollovers are losses too. It keeps the cash in your bank account, but essentially you are saying that the revenue that was supposed to come next year, right, we're going to use here and now for cash flow. And so many camps who will offer the rollover option retain some cash positions, but ultimately are losing revenue of a significant multi-million-dollar amount for probably a 2-year budget cycle because of the impact that would have on revenue from summer 2021. And finally, we have the donation option, and we do hope that many parents will recognize both the long-term value of the camp experience on their child and their family, and also the right now the needs to support our camps at this time of crisis. And we are hoping that many people will choose to donate a significant portion or even all of their tuition back to camp. It was announced a few weeks back that Harold Grinspoon and the J Camp 180 enterprise that he runs through his philanthropic fund put $10 million on the table for Jewish camps. What that translates to is 6 figures per camp of a grant that is encouraging donors to give to camp. Every dollar that is given to your camp in COVID relief right now is matched by 50 cents by the Harold Grinspoon Foundation. And if you are a camper parent and you choose to donate any portion of your tuition paid to camp, it gets matched 1-to-1. So any donation from our parent body is going to be matched a dollar-to-dollar basis up to our maximum grant amount from the Harold Grinspoon Foundation. We are grateful for that kind of forward leadership, and we're going to need more help. We're all going to need more help because development and fundraising is going to be a huge piece of our puzzle. I want to thank the Jewish Federation for very early on getting us as a Jewish not-for-profit, many others on this call, ready to submit for our PPP. We did get awarded that PPP in the first rounds of funding. That was, of course, a huge success and kept us with the ability to keep our year-round team whole as we dream for this summer and summers beyond this summer. We are also, of course, and all probably not-for-profits and Jewish camps are exploring the EIDL loan possibility. That's going to be very important to our fiscal health, as well as other lines of credit. A mentor of mine always likes to remind us that not-for-profit is not a goal, it's a tax status. And like any business, we need the cash on hand in order to survive through multiple seasons potentially being affected by this. That's the financial. More important than the financial is the potential. What would we lose from a people factor on this? First-time campers who don't get that camp experience, and one of them is in the other room in my house right now. Our oldest campers who have lived their entire experience for this year, and that's at every single camp. We're thinking about them. We're thinking about the seniors in high school who not only have lost the end of their senior year, but if camps don't open, don't have their place to go to that first staff experience. And what does it mean for our Jewish community if there's a lost summer of staff development, of youth leadership development? And Steve Rosenberg mentioned Michael Levin. Michael Levin was a camper and a staff member at Camp Ramah in the Poconos. What kind of mentorship are we potentially losing if we can't operate this summer? And what does that mean for Jewish engagement in the future? So briefly, where do we go from here? Still going to work on 1 million contingency plans, social distancing. At any of our campuses, can some sort of version of camp be brought into our communities this summer in some safe version of a physical way? Can it happen at camp? Might we shorten seasons? Might we merge seasons? What does a family camp at camp look like? What do retreats in the fall look like? What do retreats throughout the course of next year look like? All of those things are 1 million contingency plans that we're all looking for. Right now, the biggest way that you can help is if you have an affinity towards the work that a particular Jewish camp is doing, or in general, we ask for your support and your donations at this time. And we know that the Philly Federation is also going to be working on securing additional funding for camps in this time so that we can all get back to the summer that we know changes lives and has changed all our lives.